Hello and welcome to another series from the round of 8 of the ESL EU It Is War Cup 3. This time between two players who I will admit I have no idea how to say their names. In the bottom left here, as this black Eldar player is who I will be calling KiF1rE. He is running Kaya, or Kyle as I like to call him, the typical striking scorpions, and interestingly a Farseer Maka according to this, with a very standard set of doctrines. On the other side we have who I will be calling Adeich, I hope that's about right, who has what much more typically I would expect from an Orc player. The Mega Knobs is their last point with the Storm Boys and the Zap Noggin that we saw from the last game. I'm not going to believe any of these because too many times you get random a random set here, although none of these seem too crazy. We'll have to see if he has Gorgot's command on, will be the most obvious signal to whether this is correct. Once again as well, I'm going to try and keep to one player's perspective in order to keep the health bars the same, and I feel like the Dire Avengers with the blue and the Orcs with the red makes the most sense, so I'm going to go with this Eldar player. A lot of players, KiF specifically, thinking that this matchup is pretty impossible, and jamming around here getting hyped might not be the best way to start this off. They're going to get into a fight here with these Dire Avengers, dodging the grenade pretty well. The Dire Avengers have their web way in, so we'll be able to heavily outmaneuver these Orcs around here. And around this time, the Eldar has managed to take essentially the whole map, apart from this side point here, which the Orcs have rushed forward to and built a listening post on. Actually going to push up here as well and threaten this Bone Singer who's building around here. But the Orc player up with his traditional first point over here. I'm surprised he didn't build there and instead built on this further forward point. Orcs actually running straight past the Warriors portal. Don't know why I didn't stop to kill the Bone Singer, but each their own, I guess. Killing this elite point that was actually made. Very interesting choice from KiF1rE there. I'm not sure. Most players I've heard have not been quite sure on the effectiveness of that choice. First grenade hit there, second grenade I believe got maybe a clip there, but didn't seem to do much damage. Being right by their reinforced point, these Orcs are not taking a huge amount of damage, so the Dire Avengers will retreat with only scratches to their shield. And now the Orcs really just have to build up. This point is going to be very hard for them to defend with Dire Avengers just being allowed to run around the map. And with all of this map control that the Eldar gets early on, he can start putting down quite a few resource points. Another squad of Dire Avengers about to come directly out of this warrior pool. Bringing back the rest of the Dire Avengers as well. Probably going to take back this point. And then perhaps think about pressuring over here a little bit. Sorry, I had a little bit of a cough there. So as moving further into this game, standard setup, getting the first truck out, have the Storm Boys there on the march ready to move. He can, with the trucks coming out, you can normally start to make some pressure plays as the Orcs. However, one of his boys' squads is going to be hyping itself up in this bush, while the striking Scorpions and the Dire Avengers will take this listening post down incredibly quickly. These boys coming out now, but going to get hit by that plasma grenade dead on. Are not going to be able to defend this listening post and are probably going to die themselves. This is the danger of putting something, pushing up this far as Orcs against Eldar. They just have such an early game advantage, and with those striking Scorpions, they take down buildings so damn quickly. This clump of Eldar, triggering a couple of top players and casters who I've seen do videos replay reviewing other Eldar players. But gonna move out the way when necessary with that fleet of foot, which he will actually lose coming around the back of here. Plasma grenade gonna just clip on the end of this Orc squad. A couple of models left out, and slightly better hit that time. That is a big boy hit there, stunning 2 of them. But will it matter too much? Ooh, much better stun. They're gonna go for one again. That is very good, clearing out those Eldar squads incredibly efficiently. And they should both die. We now actually have some... oh, I apologise. We now actually have some Dark Creepers here, which is interesting, because these aren't things that I see incredibly often. Not going to have a great time with those boys on their face, though. And the Striking Scorpions are getting low and having to run around, but the Orcs have really sort of lost their numbers here, honestly, and they're not really that scary anymore. Now that we've pushed back this far, these amount of Dire Avengers with the Webway buff that they are getting here is just going to be fine. And actually just going to lose that Orc squad. So now if we quickly check the Orc army, there is a 3rd truck in deployment. Once this Orc squad dies, he will have 1 boy squad, and that is the entire army, other than squads, although he is getting a 2nd one. And on the Eldar side, we see both a Howling Banshee and a Dark Reaper squad, with another Dark Reaper squad coming, and just the 2 Dire Avenger squads. This is a much more varied composition than we are seeing from a lot of top Eldar players in some of the replays we've been watching so far. And I like to see this vary in composition. Honestly, the Banshees will give them a good advantage when fighting that direct conflict with the boys, being able to actually have some melee troops that can get in there. And then the true damage from the Dark Reapers are going to give them a lot of damage into those trucks and into any buildings if they want to push forward, as will the Striking Scorpions with their huge damage numbers. But honestly now, the Orcs starting to stabilise, getting out of that very tricky early game, where they had a very good engagement, cutting the Elders' numbers down. Another elite point generator, interesting, being taken in this game. Resource points being taken all over the place by this Eldar player, who has captured most of his side of the map now, as he starts taking this point. And trucks rolling through the middle. Not going to quite fight this army yet. Are they going to push down and attack this shield generator? That would be interesting. With the low number of forces they have, they could get hit in the back. And they are going to get counterattacked here by the Eldar, who are going to go straight for this shield generator. And just to guess from now, I'm going to say that the Eldar will possibly do this fast. Oh my lord, no. The suicide bombs being thrown out from this really did some damage to that. But here we go. The Eldar also doing incredible damage. Like I said, these Striking Scorpions on their own can take these shield generators faster than most other single units at this stage in the game, and we now have enough of these elite points for Maka to be summoned from the Eldar side. And with the jump of the Striking Scorpions, Maka up on this top side, they might be able to catch one of these trucks here, which would be quite a nice start for this. Some suicide boys being thrown out there, but not hitting anything. And now the Storm Boys themselves are going to get thrown out. They're just going to get massacred by the Banshees and the Scorpions. This slowdown did not go well for them at all. Not enough hit. And now they might lose another truck. All of their boys being evacuated now to just try and hold off something. But this is not a good position. Decent Maka hit there, hitting actually both the boy squads, I believe. These trucks will escape, but they're going to be all that's left of this Orc army if they do get out. And this truck actually turning around might not anymore. The Eldar are now in almost unsurmountable position. They have all of the map, they have all of the resource points. The Orc only has 2 generators up. They've just hit 2-2, as you might have been able to hear there. And so they can start getting a webway gate out soon. Their army is looking giant. And on the Orc side, we can look here so we can see them all. They have 1 squad of Death Gun looters. That's it. Their truck is now gone. Now, there still could be some sort of insane comeback here, but with those shooters just getting destroyed, the Weird Boy coming out, but his teleport being dodged decently well, that hit going to do a lot of damage to those Striker Scorpions, really not make them happy. The Weird Boy really being the sort of last chance here. But looks like no belief here from our boy Adeich, and he's going to decide that he'll try and get a better run of the early to mid game in his next attempt in game 2.